Hi, I'm John Weiskopf, author of the contemporary novel Ascend. Ascend is a 21st century new myth that is cultural, political, social, and spiritual. I'm here briefly to tell you about the end of the story. Our main character, Jacob Tott, is a world-famous violinist. He's 18 years old. And through the story, we have learned how he has become a great musician. He learned from his father, Gage Tott, who was a world-famous violinist. And as he traverses the world and climbs the beanstalk, he uses his inspiration for a new music, which he has had since the beginning of the novel, since the novel opened, and became a point of conflict for he and his father, to hear and create new sounds, new vibrations, new harmonies that have never been heard. At the end of the story, Jack, along with Caitlin, his love interest, who is also 18 years old, 1 million people are gathered at the base of the World Trade Centers. Now, the depiction that you see in front of you here was a drawing that was made, a painting that was made in a photograph pre-9/11. But in the end of the story of the novel Ascend, the two World Trade Centers are not standing because it is a post-9/11 world. But when the 1 million people gather and people watch all over the world to see the beanstalk taken down, Jack is asked to conduct, he has coordinated it, a world musical symphony with new sounds and new harmonies and new pitches. And representatives, musicians from all over the world are gathered at the base of the beanstalk. As Jack plays, accompanied by all these musicians, the lark ascending, which he refused to play for his father out of arrogance and pride, the two World Trade Centers that used to be there appear glowing gold and transfigured. Then after Jack finishes playing, what happens is that there's a brief moment of silence, and this is being beamed all over the world. What happens is that, if you'll notice, the Twin Towers look like the two prongs of a tuning fork. And they emanate, they give off, as you touch a tuning fork, it gives an incredible vibration. You can feel it if you put your hand around it, you can feel it in the air, and you can hear it. They are a tuning fork, and they give off this enormous sound. The sound travels everywhere, to the mountains of the world, the deserts, the valleys, in churches, in wide open spaces, in meeting halls, everywhere. And as that sound travels, and travels out, not just from horizontally, but it travels up. The sound travels up into the sky, into the stratosphere, and up to the International Space Station. The vibrations of that sound change people. They're not aware of it at first. Well, what happens then is that the two World Trade Centers, which are translucent and radiating gold, they merge together. They come together and they form one unit. And then, after they have merged together, you have this glowing one trade center that is still emitting sound. It merges with the green beanstalk, and there's a metamorphosis that takes place, one of the themes of the novel. And as the metamorphosis takes, what the metamorphosis is the green organic beanstalk merged with the World Trade Centers that have combined. Now all three have become this crystalline, radiating light, beautiful glass structure, like a cathedral, a modern aesthetic cathedral that reflects light of every kind. It reflects the sunlight, and with its beautiful angles, it stretches up from the earth and it grows up through the clouds into the stratosphere, and it extends up as high as the eyes can see. This crystalline structure is the total merger of the visions, the sufferings, the hopes, and the compassion of the World Trade Centers, and the beanstalk, which is green for life and green for growth. So the end of the story, once the crystalline cathedral structure has formed, the sound is emitted and people look in awe. Ascend is about man's rising to his better self, his or her better self, mankind, becoming what we can as a world community become. Thank you for listening. I loved writing this novel. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.